Okay, so we have the Thursday Murder Club. This is the new film from Christopher Columbus. Alright, it was written by Katy Brand and Suzanne Heathcote. It is produced by Jennifer Todd, Chris Columbus, executive produced by Holly Barrio, Jeb Brody, Joe Byrne, Eleanor Columbus, and Richard Osman. It's associate produced by Josh Robertson. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oh, no. And Chloe Hales is a co-producer on the joint. Right, so we have Thomas Newman on our score. Don Burgess on cinematography. Dan Zimmerman edits the piece. There is James Merrifield on set design. Okay, who else do we have? Okay, this is all a bit all over the place. Okay. Hopefully it should, we can clear this up. Todd Ellis, Charlotte Hutchins, Kat Law, Luke Whitlock were art design. Costumes with Joanna Johnson. Hair and makeup we have Daisy Almond, Julia Finch, Rosalind Fuchs, Alex Holmes, Stacey Louise Johnson, and Amira Shankla. Alright, let's go to our cast. Okay, so Elizabeth is played by Helen Mirren. We have got her husband, Stephen, played by Jonathan Pryce. There is Ron Ritchie, played by Pierce Brosnan. His son, Jason, is played by Tom Ellis. We then have got Ibrahim Arif, played by Ben Kingsley. There is Joyce Meadowcroft, played by Celia Imrie. Right, she's got a daughter, Joanna, who is played by Ingrid Oliver. Then we've got PC Donna de Freitas, played by Naomi Aki. DCI Chris Hudson, played by Daniel Mays. We've got Ian Ventham, played by David Tennant. There is Bobby Tanner, played by Richard E. Grant. Tony Curran, played by Jeff Bell. John Gray, played by Paul Freeman. Bogdan, played by Henry Lloyd-Hughes. I think that's our main cast, right? The gist of it all is 4 irrepressible retirees, Elizabeth, Ron, Ibrahim, and Joyce, spend their time solving cold case murders for fun. when an unexplained death occurs on their own doorstep. Their casual sleuthing takes a thrilling turn as they find themselves with a real whodunit on their hands. So yes, this is all based on a book series by Richard Osman. So I do believe that the book this is based on dropped in 2020. And I think it was a big hit, you know? I think it was a big hit. Went down well. Like, you can see, you know, how, people could be drawn to this kind of thing, right? It's, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? We have this cold case that's being looking into. And I think one thing is you're not quite sure what they actually then do once they've kind of supposedly solved the cold cases. Because, again, you know what I mean? Like, as far as you're aware, they're probably not going to be able to interview anyone or anything like that. So, yeah, we don't really get an understanding of what this club does to kind of close things, or to, you know, once they've thought they've got their person. But yeah, a murder actually happens, and so that's when everything starts to get looked at, right? So we have that, but then you also have got, right, Joyce moving into the home. We have got Elizabeth's friend, who was part of the club, who's Penny, right? Who's ill, very ill. Oh, and Penny was played by Susan Kirkby, right? And her husband Bernard, played by Martin Bishop, right? So Penny's really ill, so you have that kind of subplot. Then what's behind our four people as well, right? So you have all of these different things kind of playing, and it's fine, right? I think it's pretty, I mean, you get a sense of, right, where this is all leading to. It's not, well, the film anyway isn't overly nuanced. You know, you understand that there's certain things where they show you a little something, right? There's a lot of was it bait and switch? Yeah, that's what they call it, isn't it? There's a lot of that going on, right? So, you know, showing you this person, but it's a little too obvious, right? Letting the camera linger on something, and it's like, I mean, come on, like, now, it's not to say you're not gonna do that, but that's really fucking lazy if you do, right? So there's a lot of things that you're like, well, obviously we're not doing that, so then it just leads to this, right? So I think a lot of people might guess where this is going, you know, which is all fine, right? Sometimes it's the journey, right? How do we get there? And, you know, it's kind of fun, right? It is that whole kind of Hollywood type of thing, though, where it's all very convenient and easy, you know? Like, you're being stalked, but they're not going to touch you, right? Or when someone's like, meet me in this place and come alone, when it's just like, why? Like, firstly, give me a reason why. And, you know, why can't we talk about this? Why should I come alone? And why can't we talk about this now? Right? Like, it's always so odd sometimes the way certain things are framed, because you're just like, there's not actually a reason. And again, with this, you know, didn't really have to be what it was. You know what I mean? So we have those scenarios and everything like that. Now, where they're living, this old people's home, yo, like, it is crazy. This place is bonkers. It is so nice. Right? They're kind of in like their own suites. That's the thing. This place must be huge and cost a fortune. That's why it's basically just white people living there. Because, right, we got Naomi Aki, the PC. And then halfway through, we kind of see the vicar. Oh, and the vicar's back. Right? And then there's a bit when they're in a church. Father Mackey was played by Joseph Marcel. And there's a bit in a church where you could kind of see a couple of different faces. I think one black person, one like Indian looking person, right? But the majority, 99% of everyone in this spot is white. Right? We know it's not in London because we get a conversation between, I think it was Elizabeth and De Freitas, where it's indicating that she's moved from London. So it's just like, okay, so it's the country. So when it's in the country, like there's certain parts of the country where you're just like, yeah, there are hardly any minorities. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like, okay. But then on the other hand, you just got all of these people. Right? One of these kind of mainish characters could have been something slightly different. Right? We could have done that, but we didn't. Fine. Whatever. It's just, with this story, right, we have all of this stuff going on, and as I said, it's very convenient and it looks very shiny, right? It's not going to work the grey cells, right? As Hercule Poirot would put it, the little grey cells, right? It's not doing that, but it will pass some time. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I think I haven't watched the TV show, but the first book, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, that was fun, right? And I think that had a bit more intrigue and suspense and, I wonder where they're going to it than this did. Right? This is kind of like your Miss Marple's rip-off type of affair, right? Those little things throwing in, trying to be clever, trying to be, you know what I mean, smart, but they don't quite get it, you know? Like, I mean, if you like Miss Marple, Hercule Poirot, right? Any of the Agatha Christie joints. If you like, what's Homie's name? Oh, God, wait. Had it for a second. He did the, Ryan Johnson, that's it. Was it Glass Onion? Glass Onion? No. Knives Out. That's the one. He did the Knives Out. He's done the Knives Out films. And a new one's coming this year, I believe. Right? If you like that, then I think you could enjoy this. Right? It's not, I don't think it's on the level of those things. Right? But, it's easy. It's an easy watch. It's, unoffensive. You know what I mean? There's just odd, like, they throw odd things in there. Like someone doing flowers but not wearing gloves, so there's blood all over their hands, and you're just like, what? I mean, why? Like, why is the person doing that? Right? It doesn't get referenced. It's not a fit. So why would they do that? You know what I mean? It's just one of them odd ones, really. Anyway, people, I think if you're looking for a distraction, if something to pass the time, this should, do the thing. They should do the thing. Yeah. Like, it is funny because I think when you think about it, it seems at the beginning there's this intrigue about Elizabeth. And then there's a point where it's just like, and you're just like, well, what was the point in skipping around it at the start? Though everyone knows the score, right? Like, it's not a secret really, because everyone can guess what it is. Yeah, so that's a bit, and there is a lot of that, right? There's a lot of these obvious things, these things in the film where you're just like, I mean, you're not really fooling anyone there, you know? But I will say, everyone seems like they're having a good time, right? That they enjoyed being able to play these kind of outlandish type of roles. So I imagine the set was a lot of fun, right? And yeah, I think it's screened in some cinemas, but it is now available on Netflix. So if you enjoyed the book, right? If you enjoyed the book and you want to see how did they adapt it to the big screen, or if, as I say, you just like a little crime, a little Murder, She Wrote type of thing, then yeah, Thursday Murder Club could be for you.